People of the world, welcome to Send It Rising, our main story of the day. You can now ask Google to take your personal data out of search results. Google's offering, according to NPR.org, a new tool for anyone who doesn't want their phone number, email, or street address and other personal information to be found online. People can ask for their contact details to be stripped from the search results. Quote, the availability of personal contact information online can be jarring, said Michelle Chang, Google's global policy lead for search, as she recently announced the change. So basically, if you have a crazy stalker who is trying to find where you live, you can get rid of your street address. If you don't want people to see government issued ID numbers, things like this, a bank account or credit card number, you can have that removed. Handwritten signature and images of ID docs, restricted personal medical document, confidential login credentials or contact information, address, phone number, or email address. This, of course, is very, very difficult for Google to implement, but they're constantly looking at ways of improving their service. This is one of them. The article continues, the new policy sharply lowers Google's bar for removing data from search results, while it previously offered to scrub personal and financial information in cases of a real or potential threat, such as doxing or identity theft. The company says people can now ask for the information to be removed even if there is no clear risk. A major change. Privacy is very important. A lot of people have potential problems in their life that they would like to simply avoid, this being one of them. Next story, Google making $100,000 worth of tech training free for every U.S. business. I am personally signing up for this right now. It's through Coursera. You have to provide an EIN number. That's like a business's social security number. According to money.usnews.com, Alphabet Inc.'s Google will provide any U.S. businesses over $100,000 worth of online courses in data analytics, design, and other tech skills for their workers free of charge, they said on Monday. This is a big expansion of the Google Career Certificate Program they launched in 2018. Mind you, I understand that single moms at home have it rough. There's a lot of guys out there who are losing their jobs in their 50s and 60s. I'm not saying this sort of thing is a panacea and that it will solve all of our problems. It is, however, a legitimate way forward if you want to retrain. I personally plan on taking a look at some of this, perhaps even taking a course or two. Lisa Gevelber, founder of Grow with Google, according to the article, the company unit overseeing certificates, said course completion rates are higher when people pay out of pocket. That's obviously true because people are interested in getting their money's worth when it's free. They tend not to see the value. Perhaps charging folks sometimes is the way forward to actually get growth in a company. I know that seems backwards, but there are IT support, project management, e-commerce, and digital marketing certificates available. You may want to check those out. Link to this article is right there in the description. YouTube.com/Send It Rising is a great place to find that. Money.usnews.com article. Get trained or train your staff. We're publishing the Facebook papers, according to Gizmodo.com. Here's what they say about the ranking algorithms that control your news feed. Quote, probably even asking the question feels slightly blasphemous at Facebook, the same employee answered in smaller text below. This is from a Is Ranking Good presentation, May 6th, 2018. A Facebook employee asked, so many experiments and product launches demonstrate the value of ranking, and it's often taken as an article of faith. Gizmodo.com continues, quote, ranking refers to how the world's biggest social network prioritizes what content users happen to see. The company's ranking algorithms increased how much time users spend on Facebook. So this Facebook Papers is a trove of documents that gives a look inside Facebook. Of course, Frances Haugen provided these initial documents. If you're unfamiliar with her, you haven't been watching the show because we've covered her as a whistleblower for many, many episodes. The article continues today as part of a rolling effort to make the Facebook Papers available publicly. Gizmodo is releasing a second batch of documents, 37 files in all. They shared 28 in their first drop. This shows insights into how Meta chooses to rank content submitted by users. and there are follow-ups to political events, those sorts of things. Several key documents concern what Facebook calls meaningful social interactions, a term introduced by the company in January 2018. This metric, as Zuckerberg explained, is, quote, personal connections, happiness and health of the user, etc. So a meaningful social interaction is intentionally opaque, according to the article, but I think it is fair to say that a meaningful social interaction deals with comments, consistent comments, number of likes over time, how many seconds of a reel folks are watching, are they sharing that? These are obvious metrics. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that if someone is your friend, they like your content consistently, they will continue to see that content. If you are continuing to post the new things that Facebook is giving you the opportunity to post, like reels, then you are going to see more opportunities to create these, quote, meaningful social interactions. The article continues, Zuckerberg has denied before Congress that, quote, increasing the amount of time people spend starting at their feeds has ever been Facebook's goal. It's a claim that flies in the face of everything we know about his business. I agree with this entirely. It is clear that Facebook wants you to spend the maximum amount of time on the platform. These push notifications are one of the ways that this occurs. I often will be hanging out, get a notification. What is it? It's TikTok. TikTok trying to get me back. And I know Facebook works the same way. The documents contain, quote, from Gizmodo, an admission from one employee that is indicative of Facebook's quandary of growth versus user health. The employee wrote that the evidence favoring ranking is, quote, extensive and nearly universal. People like ranked feeds more than chronological ones, obviously. People want curated content. This is why YouTube will show you puppy videos if you like watching puppy videos. One of the most interesting things I've recently noticed with algorithms is that my TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Reels algorithms are wildly different. I post on all of these platforms, and yet my experience on each of them is different. I get a lot of boxing stuff on YouTube, for example. So there you go. Ranking, according to this article, encouraging the sharing of fewer but meaningful posts. Bad content to spread farther due to costless accumulation of friends, according to the presentation. So basically, the idea is fewer but more meaningful. So whatever that means, good luck with that. There was a TikToker who called his boss and quit live on TikTok. No, I shouldn't say live, but he filmed it. And 500,000 views later, he's doing quite well. So if you're gonna jump ship, well, you might as well do it on TikTok. I don't mean that, of course. What I'm saying is that if you are going to quit your job, there is a guy who you can watch do that exact thing. And I don't know if future employers are going to appreciate that much. I think what he's saying, this TikToker Humza Afar BNB, at HUMZAZA FAR BNB. His whole thing is he's buying all these BNBs. He thinks he's going to be an entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur. And at the end of the day, if he's able to do that, he'll never have another job again. It doesn't matter. But if he has to go back into the job market, him saying that he didn't even put in his 2 weeks is a little rough around the edges. I wish him all the luck in the world. No, I don't even know what his former job was. But quote, oh yeah, I'm just going to basically work on my startup company that I started full time now. So I think it's time for me to just take the chance and go for it, he says in the video. Well, there you have it. Quitting your job on the internet. Facebook ads have a problem. It's called digital redlining. Mashable.com brings us this information. In 2021, a Facebook user filed a lawsuit because they didn't think they were getting a fair shot at viewing advertisements. This is very weird, but basically the premise is someone who's older than 50 was complaining about not getting the same deals that the younger generation was getting. So they filed a class action lawsuit against 9 companies that manage various apartment buildings in the DC area, from the article alleging that they are engaging in, quote, digital housing discrimination by excluding older people from viewing advertisements on Facebook. This particular person alleged that because the defendants deliberately excluded people over the age of 50 from viewing their ads, something you could once do on Facebook. She was denied the opportunity, and she has a decent point. So digital redlining is interesting because essentially when you target a specific group of people, you are creating a red line around all the other people. There is no such thing as targeted ads unless you are given the ability to choose who sees those ads. So there will always be people that simply do not benefit if you want to see advertisements as a benefit, whereas the vast majority of people see them as simply very obnoxious. There you have it, digital redlining. Twitter's long rumored edit button revealed. Let's take a look into how it works. nypost.com, quote, you don't have to look like a I'm not going to say that. Tired of having to delete painstakingly formulated tweets due to minor errors? Not to fear. After almost a year of speculation, according to the article, and myriad complaints from frazzled users, Twitter's long-rumored edit button has apparently become a reality. So, why does this matter to you? I don't know. I feel like these small changes at Twitter are news simply because Twitter is, a massive company. The big news, of course, is whether or not Elon Musk is going to be able to get rid of all non-human users on Twitter. That's a massive change. That's a change I'm interested in. Them adding an edit button, not so interested. Whoop-de-doo. Massive change? Yeah, you got my attention. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show for today. Thank you for swinging on by. Don't forget that there's $100,000 worth of tech training out there. Check the money.usnews.com link in the description for that. If you want your personal data out of search results, you have that option. Facebook papers, if you want to dive into those, link in the description. And last but not least, if you quit your job, you can do it on TikTok. I just don't recommend it. That's the show for today. We'll see you all next time. Bye for now.